Hi, I'm your goddess Nazca here with Chakama. We are reacting to why furries have such a bad reputation.
We're about to find out.
This is something I'd like to know myself, actually.
Think we're actual animals.
It can mean so many different things.
Last year at my local pride parade, I met a furry. I actually met a couple of them, and the conversations I've had over the last few months with them and learning from them, talking to them, hanging out with them, I've learned a lot. In this video, we'll be focusing specifically on furries. It's important to note that this is not a furry. This is pup play. It is a kink, and it is something that's completely...
Yeah. Okay, yes. That's something I like. I like that he's talking about this. People like to, it's like the same thing with the LGBT stuff. They like to just lump it all in as one thing.
Yeah.
They're lumping this stuff in as one thing too with furries. It's not. It's not.
Different from the furry community. Again, this is not a furry either. This is a Therian slash quadruped. It's basically, if I have to dumb it down, it's like parkour, but with an animal mask. Like you're doing the motions of parkour, but like an animal. Teach their own, but I'm not talking about that. Are there some Therians that are furries, and are there furries that are Therians? For sure, and some of it.
Yes, they do intersect. That's true. Stuff like that intersects.
Yeah.
Furries are cool people. Even cooler, the bronies are. Treat better.
Well, the problem is you do have the people that do have the fetish that go into that.
Right.
Blend, but it blends just as much as like a gay dude and a lesbian. They have nothing to do with each other
Exactly.
except the shared commonality that they like the same sex. So a Therian and a furry, they have this shared commonality of like being something else, but that's pretty much it. These fandoms and communities, they get very deep very fast, so I have to clear the air and make that distinction first and let you guys know that we will not be talking about the people crawling on the floor acting like an animal, or be talking about the pup play stuff. It's specifically furries.
Yes.
So if there are any other communities or niches that you want me to make a video on or talk about, be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments below. So without further ado, let's dive right into this video.
How you doing? Susan Hyman is here, one of our Sci-Fi Buzz producers, fresh back from Fur Runs 4. Now, why the fur there? What's that fur?
Back in '93.
Yeah, the furries kind of evolved kind of similar to the way as anime did.
Sheesh.
Very early on. I mean, Don Bluth stuff is what kind of is something that helped grow. Like, Secret of Nim.
You know what I found out about furries? The furry episode in CSI.
That's bullshit. I hate that episode. I don't even like CSI, so I don't care. When was serving in the military? Do you know how many bronies I met?
Dude, I met a brony. I met a couple bronies in college. That was back when it was a peak, too.
I turned a friend of my ex's into a brony because I was watching the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic newest episode, and he was spending the night, and he was like right behind me while I was watching it because there was only one TV that was in the living room. I was like, I want to watch my show. So I went in there and I started watching it, and he started watching it too, and he just fell in love.
But a friend I knew tried to make me a brony, and I fought the urges. I fought and won.
If My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, that show's good.
I will give that the show is good.
I don't remember. Did I ever show you any episodes?
I remember watching it with you when you were especially towards the end.
Oh, okay. You didn't see all of it though, so you just
Fandom.
Yeah.
It was an anthropomorphic animation festival.
What the heck is that?
Oh, I thought you'd ask that. That is when you ascribe human traits and characteristics to an animal.
Oh.
Kind of like.
Well, I like this picture here. Oh, is that Dan Rather? Oh, that's you.
pretty.
Very good, Mike.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
This is Furry Con Festival from 1993. Furries, this fandom, this community has been around for multiple decades. Like this person said, it's liking when you're giving human characteristics to animals, which we all enjoy or have, whether it be Bugs Bunny, Zootopia, Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, Courage the Cowardly Dog. We can go down a list of people and animators and cartoons taking animals but then making them Looney Tunes actual like human characteristics, and it's kind of that, and it just even blends it out into mascotting. The people who enjoy being a mascot, the school mascot or NFL mascot, that kind of vibe. So this is giving a little backstory to this fandom.
Now, you're talking about ascribing personal traits to like a Bugs Bunny.
So Friendship the Magic was pretty good. Dropped out and lost interest after season 3, I think. Whatever season. Twilight became Alicorn. Ah, yeah. Sorry, something I catch feelings quickly. Oh, that's okay. Thank you.
Or Roger Rabbit or something like that.
Well, it
New to
starts there,
Furries,
but
I
just take a look
thought
at
they
this piece because it
were
goes way
talking
beyond.
about book anthropology back in elementary school. Huh. Yay!
Fun, fur, and hundreds of fans were out in force at this
I wanna
year's
go
fourth
to a
annual
furry convention.
Conference in Costa Mesa, California. Since its inception, the convention has evolved into a
Just a thought. This is back in '93. This is before anime got as big as it did. Hell,
No.
it's just
It's around the
weird.
same
that-
time.
No,
I'm
anime.
gonna look up when was the first anime convention in America specifically.
Okay, look up. We're gonna take a little quick.
I'm just gonna look it up on the phone.
All right.
high
You can
energy
keep
celebration of anthropomorphic art.
Like you see this in today's furries.
Uh-huh.
Animation and attitude.
Conference was started in late 1988 after several years when we had
Sorry, I was
been putting
looking
on
at Clone
parties at other
Robotics.
conventions for people with an interest in anthropomorphic characters, which is basically everything from Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and in between.
This thing's been around for forever. So that's
1988. Yeah, that's as long as I've been alive.
Gotta go back. I had what I was looking for. Let's see. The first major anime convention in the United States was held in San Joe, California in 1999. 91.
91.
91. I forgot the one. It's close. It's just 1
But
year
yeah,
off.
that's this. They were the first furry.
And it was named AnimeCon.
I wonder if it's still even around anymore.
It might
a little
be.
backstory.
Oh, it evolved into Anime Expo.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
briefly
Mm-hmm.
on how this isn't something new or something that's super weird or different. This has always been around. It's been a thing, but much like everything else we talk about on this channel, it's the fringes, it's the people acting crazy that give everything a bad reputation, so to say.
Sorry. Another quick thing here. I was just looking at this. Published manga. Oh wait, that's not an anime convention. That's talking about anime history. But yeah, the very first anime convention here in the States was in
But that's just a little
California.
backstory on
In
how
91.
it's come to be, a little intro to how people start to get into it. But it does branch off into there. I'm not saying there aren't any like sexual
Furries, I
aspects to the
thought
fandom
they
in
were
certain
talking-
sex.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
right,
saying
right.
that, you know, everything's appropriate for children. No, I'm just shedding highlight to how majority of it is grown adults minding their business, doing what they want to do. That's just that.
Furry is a decentralized fandom, and what that means is that the furry fandom doesn't revolve around one specific piece of media. A
Right.
centralized fandom would be, for example, Star Wars. The Star Wars fandom revolves around the Star Wars movies primarily. When somebody talks about furry or mentions that they are one, you should ask what that means. For
Yeah. Because it's not generalized, because furry is something that's kind of branched off in a lot of things. Like, for example, I guess I would classify myself as an anime furry.
Well, not only that, anime is not a centralized media. It's
True,
it's like
true.
cartoon animation for Japan, but there's not a specific. There's multiple fandoms in anime.
Yeah, there's multiple branches. What's the type of anime I really like?
One Piece.
One Piece, JoJo. So I think that's more in the shonen tier. That
Versus say stuff like Vampire Knights or something like
I
that.
like that too, though.
example, to Fox News and a lot of the media, furry might mean identifying as an animal, which isn't furry. It's actually therian.
Yeah,
but there's
that's
a
not
lot
me.
of misinformation about what furry actually is. And if you talk to somebody who self-identifies as a furry, it might mean self-expression, performance and mascotting.
that performance mascotting, as well as art. That's how I kind of classify mine, because I like to craft my own fursuits. I like to go out and act. I've made so many kids really happy with my Pokemon fursuits. It's really sweet.
Or the Great Ape one we made.
Oh yeah, the Great Ape one gets
But
a
that's
lot
a
of...
Dragon Ball Z. Hell, the voice actor for Whis came up and took my picture.
I know, that was so cool. Ian Sinclair, the voice actor for Whis from Dragon Ball Z, he was at our convention and he walked up to us to get Trucker Man's picture because he was in the Great Ape fursuit I had made for
Or
him.
Vegeta.
Great Ape Vegeta.
Artistic expression, the way somebody makes their living, sexual expression, it can be
Is
so
that
many different things.
Valid. And that's why I took the time to go to the source and actually meet with, hang out, and talk to actual furries. I'm listening. This person said Fox News and what you see on mainstream media, oh, it's just people that think they're animals, they're stupid.
Yeah,
this
no.
and that. I've learned.
No.
That
That's
one,
wrong.
like again, the people that think they're animals, that's something else. But two, when it comes to the furry people, they're grown adults, wealthy as hell, established as hell.
Okay, I wouldn't say wealthy. Yes, you need a lot of money to buy a fursuit, but it's not that expensive to make one.
If you know what you're doing.
Minding their business, participating in a hobby that they just enjoy themselves, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. There's some things I disagree with, yeah, some of the different sects of it for sure, but for the most part, they're just minding their business, and there's so many
Yes.
different things of what a furry actually
Just having
means, because for a
fun.
lot of people, it is just self-expression. It is just a hobby because they like the theatrics and like being in a suit and feel more comfortable.
It's no different than cosplaying, ultimately, at least in my perspective, my version of furry. It's no different than cosplay.
We have a lot more we're going to get into later, but that's something that I learned off the bat when speaking to certain furries and interviewing them and talking to them, which I'm respecting their privacy. It's just been interesting learning about it, and that's why I want to share it with you guys, because they get such a bad rep, and I'm sitting here like, but why? So we're going through that today.
For example, for me, furry is mascotting and performance arts. I loved being my high school and college mascot, so naturally it translated well into a group of people that also love mascotting. For some people, it's other things. For example, furry is not sexual expression to me, and it's not
Right.
working with textiles and furs, although
Right.
it is a way I make my
Yeah. Just because I like to dress up as a creature doesn't mean I want to go fuck said creature. That too. I hate that generalization that people like to make.
A lot of
A lot of my exes were furries and bronies, speaking a lot about me. Yeah, it's
living
cool.
because I do sell 3D printed things to furries. It's a lot of different things for many different people. I would always encourage asking what that is to that person.
Yeah, I would just ask. You don't have to come off the bat being very brash or rude or disrespectful or thinking that's weird, that's
Right.
stupid. There's a lot of things that people do that's stupid to other people, but
Yeah.
for the most part, they're not really harming anybody. And that person brings up a great point about the economy and about how that person makes a living selling 3D art. Y'all, these suits, they cost money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. From the people who put together the suits, from the people that throw the events, from the people that there's so
See, I'm trying to think. See, the most expensive part about making the fursuit is buying the fur. The fur's the most expensive.
especially since Joanne's is now gone.
I didn't really get much of my fur from Joann's anyway because most of their fur was kind of bland colors and not really the best quality. Most of my fur I had bought off of Amazon. Yeah. At the same time, they become my best friend. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have fun with similar interests and they just go do stuff. I think being a furry makes you more fun. You're more outgoing, even though at the same time, okay, you're outgoing, but at the same time, you're an extrovert or introvert? Introvert, yeah. Because you like to wear a mask, but it's the only way you feel like you can express yourself sometimes, you know?
the art,
go
there's so
hunting in
much
the
that goes into the
woods.
fandom where it is its own little like economy of people supporting each other's artwork and really furthering, honestly, American businesses. Truth be told, these are small American business, all hyping each other up, buying and trading each other's art and promoting. It's huge.
Yes, no, because you can buy cheapo fursuits overseas and they're really shit
And they
quality.
probably fall apart within like a week. I bet you.
And you can't see. This is why I don't want to buy my own fursuit. I'd rather make it because I know I can make it specifically fit me. I know what are all the ins and outs of it, and I know how to wash it. That's another thing. Sometimes some fursuits you can't really wash. The way I make mine, I can stick them in the wash machine up just fine. Yeah.
Huge. It's a big deal for a lot of people, and it for sure stimulates the economy.
This is the most expensive fursuit ever sold. In May of 2021, a maker the furry community beloved for their amazing Toonie-style suits, known as Zuri Studios, opened an auction for a custom fursuit slot, which baffled the community as its price within minutes hit an unreal $24,000. But it doesn't stop there.
I would rather buy the robot. I want the robot instead, please.
Put it in a fursuit.
No, I put it in a Sephiroth outfit. What are you talking about? I can imagine that one dry kinder place seeing a whole bunch of furry suits. Yeah. I do go hunting myself. I'd love a nice bear rug and a fox coat.
Cleaner.
I think it's very attractive. The only thing is, it'll be a pain in the butt to dye the fur.
The bidding war went down to the final hour, with the final amount being a whopping $50,000.
No, I want my robot!
This crushed the previous record of $17,000, which was held by Mixed Candy since 2018. Shortly after the sale, the buyer garnered massive online attention, with people mesmerized by both the price and quality of the suit.
I'm telling you, when you start learning about the money they put in these things, who's paying for it, the jobs they...
See, this is... Damn, I wish I could make quality suits like this and I could sell suits. But mine are more just kind of fun and just... I'm not that advanced into fursuit making. Yeah. You check out some of the fursuit videos.
I was just mind blown. Like, to a lot of people out there, furries is just like weird and stupid people acting dumb and childish, but a lot of them are not. And it's art. It's just art. I don't know how else to put it. There's some bad things about it we're going to get into later, but for the most part, it's just art, and I'm not going to crap on them just for the way they want to live their life and the different hobbies that they have. And like a lot of people, when it comes to these fursuits, they're like, hey, who's affording this? Who's paying for this? I'm telling y'all, they're all around you. I'm not even playing the job. Let's just get into it.
Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I'm a platform interconnects and system interconnects engineer.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi there. What do you do for a living?
You're all deers. Yeah, I thought two in pursuit furries stop.
I study graphic design, and I've been working in logistics for a while.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I build navigation equipment for the Navy.
Awesome.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, he made some probably some
Hi
money
there.
doing that.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a consulting meteorologist.
Wow, that's so cool.
Huh.
Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I make fursuits.
Hell yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I'm a bench jeweler.
A bench jeweler.
Yes.
Cool.
Huh.
Thank you.
It's like art, like the people sitting next to
Hi
us.
there. What do you do for a
Oh.
living?
Well, I don't work anywhere currently, but I am studying nuclear engineering in college.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Wait. The last guy. He's in college and he has a fancy fursuit. God, how much debt are you in, or do you have some rich parents?
Studying nuclear energy. Probably better than the last guy that we had in the Biden administration, the bald guy that was wearing dress, stealing people's stuff. They had to let him go. He had too much baggage.
Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I work for the government.
Not anymore.
No. She's fine. She's fine. We
sure?
don't see her face. Oh, you mean, you mean after all the government
they're
cutbacks.
everywhere, making great money, minding their business, doing what they need to do to survive. That's just, it is what it is. This is one of their hobbies, what they like to do, what they like to spend their money on, because they have copious amounts of it, typically, to afford these outrageous and expensive fursuits.
And or they don't care that they put themselves in debt. That's a thing, too. It's almost like gambling, maybe.
Dudes. And we're gonna touch on this point later on, but a big part of it for a lot of people is they love being anonymous. They love being able to be portrayed as something and not be viewed because of how they look.
Yes.
Because they're raised or like
Yes.
anything. It's just, it breaks down like that human barrier, I guess, and just makes it way easier to just...
It's a good coping mechanism. Fursuiting is a good coping mechanism to try to be more, what's the word?
Expressive.
Not just expressive, but...
Outgoing. Like VTubing.
Yeah, kind of like this is another version of VTubing, yeah.
Immediately to start talking to somebody because there's no guilt, no shame, no judgment. It's just, hey, like we both have this shared topic, this shared hobby. Let's just start talking. It's way easier for that, and I respect that. If grown consenting adults want to do this and they want to protect their identity, I don't blame them. Thanks to today's sponsor, Delete Me, you can too.
Yep.
If you didn't know, it is content practice for your personal data to be bought and sold online. This is how
It might seem childish or immature, but most of us are fully grown adults who 95% of the time live perfectly normal lives with perfectly normal careers.
Plenty of chums said furry are needed in the government because they're furry people.
We're furries. No, we don't think we're actual animals.
Yes.
And no, we're not attracted to animals.
Yes.
We hate zoophiles just as much as anyone else.
Which I learned that the zoophile thing, that's when you do get into like the nasty stuff. I'm gonna just leave that there, but there's a lot of people that are just like, I don't want any piece of that.
Leave the animals alone.
It's a belt, people.
It don't go into bun.
To be fair, there's a lot of Turkey Tom videos on zoophiles.
Ooh.
The furries.
Yippee.
We're furries. Yes, the hobby is weird. We think it's weird too. But we're having fun, so we don't need stuff.
I mean,
enjoying
that's very
life.
valid takes. It's just, that's what I've learned the most. That it's 90, like if you see a furry, that's just 5% of their life. The other 95%, it's completely normal. You're walking past them at Walmart, Costco, whatever it may be.
Yeah, to be fair, my anime style life overeclipses my furry life any day.
Yeah. Well, you're in a VTuber right now.
Yeah.
Just mind their business, doing their own thing.
I need
And
a
a lot of the
fursuit for
things
my
that
VTuber.
the average person dislikes about a furry, furries dislike too. You know, you may not like them being in the suit for sure, but as far as like the sexual stuff and all that kind of stuff, like they don't even like it too, and they don't think that they're an animal. It's just cosplay.
Yes.
It's like LARPing. It's like LARPing.
Yes,
People that
exactly.
LARPing in the park. Yeah, it's something similar to that. This says, you're Christian, you can't be a furry. Forbid Christians have hobbies besides hunting and golf. There's straight male furries, there's straight women furries, Christian furries. Like, it gets associated a lot with the gay community because a lot of the furries...
Yeah, exactly. It's just a form of hobby. Here's a good example. Okay, Pokemon Go Community Day. Let's see. There's like a little park that we go to for Pokemon hunting and junk. One day for the community day, it was winter, so I didn't die, but I just dressed up in my fursuit Articuno. And I had so many people just stop and take pictures and just made so many kids so happy. It was just really fun. Just really fun to walk around as my cute little fursona, my shiny Articuno.
Some of them like end up being gay, but the straight people do exist, and I feel like it gets lumped in with the gay community because of how open they are already and not like they're super less judgmental. So you're gonna see more of those people in this crowd. Gay Christians have hobbies besides hunting and in golf. That's a real statement. There's a lot of religious people that are furries because at the end of the day, they are just grown adults minding their business. And what I wanted to highlight in this video is just what I have learned so much the past few months. Like, I'm just completely mind blown. I'm completely mind blown. Like, I'm sure some of the viewers are watching this video now.
Army furries.
Army too. They're everywhere.
until the furries start doing harmful things to each other and other people, then I have no problem with them. I think they're weird, but I believe it's their life and their choice. Yeah, just like anyone else.
I had no idea.
It's just a
I had no
fun
idea.
little
But I'm
art
showing y'all,
style.
you can't escape them. They're there. They're everywhere. And for the most part, they're minding their business. So is it really that bad? Is it really that harmful? Like, why do they have such a bad reputation? Well, mainly two things. It's the schools. It's always the children. Truly, majority, it's always been seen.
Yes. That is a problem. When they let kids dress up in fursuits in school.
Hell, we weren't allowed to wear. There were certain parts of the year we weren't allowed to wear shorts.
Dude, they get mad at you for having your hair, like for guys, I think, for having your hair too long. If you color your hair, stuff like that. Wearing a lot of makeup and stuff. How is that any different? You should not be allowed to wear a fursuit in school. That's just dumb.
As like weird to some people, but when it started like creeping into schools and all the kids are doing it and dressing up as it, that's really when it just blew up and started to get way more of a bad rep.
Why do people get drawn to furries?
Because a lot of them are on the spectrum. For people who have a hard time making eye contact and they love animals, it provides a childish way to be able to express yourself without the awkwardness of eye contact that is common in most interactions. The furries are so cool. I thought they all attracted to animals before I met them.
Why do they have such a bad rep?
Do kind of look scary?
Yeah.
Especially because they're all adults. You know, if they're little kids and it was a kid subculture, but it's
Yeah.
like an adult subculture and there is a sexual component. These are people who enjoy costuming. I don't think they wear the furry all the time. I think furries are probably 30-70, 30 being furred out, 70 regular.
Those are some key points, and they did have a video of the Therians. We're not talking about them, but those are key points. A lot of people are on the spectrum and they like the being anonymous and not having to make eye contact and just being able to just like communicate without any
Very, very antisocial me, yes. But yeah, there's another downside to fursuits. Okay, this is where I'm going to debunk a lot of the sexual stuff. Okay, the two main reasons why some sexual stuff is not really something that... I mean, yes, it does happen, but here's where it's not very common. One, the fursuit is super expensive. You do not want to get cum all over it. And number two, it gets really hot. And it's really hard to really focus on stuff like that. I mean, some people do dance stuff and junk. Some people are like the hot. Some people are cool with the hot, so that don't bother them. But definitely expensive suits. You don't want to get it nasty. That's kind of the most mindset that most furries would have when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, there are still some out there who probably don't care, but again, that's the minority.
Or like there's freaks in the anime conventions we run into.
Yeah, there's that too. So yeah, you get it everywhere. Get it everywhere. Okay.
other.
Want to read that?
Okay. How can you be antisocial when you're talking to you or texting you to you right now? That's because I'm behind a VTube model. Dude, you do not see me. And also, I finally got my anxiety medicine. Yay! Again. When I was a kid, I tried going to school wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mask, and was sent to the principal's office, and he took it, and he never gave it back. No, the horror!
Thing. It's like people typically on the spectrum, they are masking, which is basically you're kind of just, you have on a fake persona pretty much. Not necessarily fake, but you're masking who you really are. And with having a literal mask on, you can just let go and just be you.
It's entirely possible.
What?
That meme is so real. It's like when you take Adderall for the first time, you're just like, huh. And putting on a mask, putting on this fursuit, that same feeling. I guess that if you're someone with ADHD and you take Adderall and your mind kind of like just zones in, that's how some people who are on the spectrum feel when they put on that mask. They're just like, huh, I can just breathe, I can just do me, be me, and I can like meet people and be in this subculture that I will get friends and have like a chosen family and be a part of a community that is really fun for them. But and I think that's totally fine, but the unfortunate part is why furries get a bad rep is because of the involvement. It's always go back to the children. Just let these damn kids alone to be fine. But the involvement of children and then the sexual acts that even people in the community don't like, but also how, you know, for example, if there's a furry convention and it's all ages, some people find that very inappropriate. I will say, looking into the furry community, you are 2-3 clicks away from dealing with something sexual. That's it. It just is what it is. So I will say this is a subculture hobby that is meant for adults. I don't think minors should be involved.
That's a little touch and go. Because again, furry is not meant to be sexual. It's not the same as, say, transgender stuff, for example. Because that's based around sexuality and junk. Furry's not based off of sexuality. It's not supposed to be. Yes, there's some people who will treat it like that, but it's not meant to be. It's very similar to anime. And again, you have kids that get into anime and stuff. It's basically the exact same stuff, in a sense. But it depends on how you treat it. Like, for example, I like that there's a furry convention I wanted to go to. They have 2 different variants of said convention at the same time. So you got the variant where it's all ages, and then you got the nighttime variant, which it gets more spicy.
Please, people, wear deodorant.
Oh, don't. Yeah. No. I cake on deodorant like crazy when I'm in a fursuit. I do not want to be the stinky furry. Hell, I had a compliment once when I was doing a furry gathering where we were like doing an opening skit thing for a soccer match. And I had this little school of kids. This little girl comes up to me and says I smell like strawberries, and that made me happy.
But again, the lines do get blurred between mascotting versus furries, because although I don't think kids should necessarily be involved in the furry community, I mean, shit, you got all these mascots at the NBA games, all these mascots at NFL games, and they are just as wholesome as some people in the furry community where they have nothing to do with anything remotely bad. It's just a literal fact of being a mascot and dressing up. So the lines do get a little blurred, and I do kind of see that, but when it comes to furries in schools, I don't think that should be a thing. And when it comes to these conventions, I mean, much like the Pride parades, at this rate, maybe it just needs to be 18 plus and leave it as is.
Yeah. Like I was saying, there have 2 different variations. They do the exact same thing for anime conventions, where they have the normal general anime convention during the day, and then they have the nighttime when it gets spicy.
Or adult specific anime convention.
Or adult specific conventions. For example, Trekomon and I are going to Ecchi in Denver. I love saying that. When is that convention?
August.
Hentai. And yes, hentai.
And I wore my fursuit on the last week of school.
But yeah, Ecchi.
Dang, I don't get what's so funny, honestly.
Last week of school.
Well, if it's the last week, I think stuff like that should be fine.
They're about to graduate. I mean, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Oh, well, don't do that.
Do not park in the parking lot in front of and north at the light.
What's up?
Of course.
Let's go. I don't get what's so funny.
What's up? That's cool.
I never went to a school that had this. I never went to a school this big.
I did.
Low key, this is why that Texas, I don't know if y'all remember that, but there was a law in Texas trying to be passed to like ban furries from doing this in schools. I do think all masks, this has nothing to do with the furry community, but I think all masks in general should be banned from school grounds unless.
I agree to that, yes. Because, like, again, I said, they complain about you, it's in their rules and stuff, that you can't have colored hair or anything like that. So having a giant fluff head would definitely be a major distraction. How am I wearing the mask? The whole suit is not my style. Trust me, yeah, the whole suit is very much a pain. But it's a good workout.
Assist a school mascot on the field, you know? But you shouldn't be able to be walking around school in a fursuit. That's crazy to me. Not okay. You need to be showing your face with as much, security threats that we have going on.
That
I don't
too,
think
yeah.
this should be acceptable. And wanting to ban something like this at a school is not necessarily saying you want to ban all furries in totality or grown adults, consenting adults doing what they want to do in private or at their own little conventions. This is a public school, and this should not. And to me, should not be a thing.
Breaking news in the furry fandom. Las Vegas
That
FurCon
is
just
bright
announced
orange.
that they will be changing their age limit to 21 plus indefinitely. They elaborate on this by explaining how Vegas already caters to people 21 and over, so having younger attendees is a liability. What's special about the state of Nevada is that they already...
So ultimately, they're making their fur convention 21 plus only. How do you feel about that one? I think it should be 18 plus. Why 21?
Drinking.
I guess ultimately making things 21 makes it easier because you can do everything, but still, I feel like 18 though. But then when enough like COVID comes around, we'll be forcing already prevent anything. No. In that case, if we do get another Kobe, we should all be allowed to wear fur heads. Fur heads for everyone.
biggest little FurCon, so kids can have their experiences, adults can have theirs, and it's a perfect balance. However, some people don't want this balance and have voiced that all cons should be 21 plus. This doesn't make much sense because, well, not every convention takes place in Vegas. Why would a con limit their number of attendees for no...
The real reason being that there's a lot of things that go down at these conferences and behind closed doors that is for adults only. And
again, I'm arguing with this one. That's not the case. Example, again, anime conventions. They're in the exact same vein. There's not 18 plus stuff going on during the whole time of the convention. That's usually just left for nighttime. I would feel it'd be the same for furries, but again, I can't really speak out of knowledge because we've never been to a furry convention.
Help the furries assemble.
There are a lot of people that are furries that think this whole fandom and the conventions that go on should be for grown adults only, and that's not a perspective that's commonly shared or talked about, and I respect that. Leave it to the grown adults, and I don't think there should be like little FurCon and kids, and the lines do get blurred with like actual mascots. But then also, fair point to the straight community, I am on 110% against pageants. That is so weird and creepy. The toddler pageants, the kid pageants, got the little girls all dressed up, dolled up with the makeup, voguing on stage.
Okay, that's different though. Because the parents are forcing them to do stuff like that. When it comes to fursuiting, it's the child that wants to do that, just naturally. They're not being forced into it.
I don't know, like some of the toddler and tiaras, those parents are forcing those kids to do.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm using the comparison that he's saying the toddlers and tiaras, that stuff the parents are forcing, versus furry conventions. It's usually the child that wants to do that.
No, me, I'm retarded.
You're missing my
and
point.
prancing around for grown adults to be judged.
Yeah, that's stupid. Agreed to that.
I mean, it makes sense why they want it to be for adults only because of all the lewd things that do happen to go down. And just like the pride parades, I feel like the pride parades, like, you know what? People have been acting buck at these pride parades, 18 plus.
That was a tragedy. I'm not sure if we should react to that one because we've watched that one a lot. So it wouldn't be new to us. Well, I'm heading out. Have a good one. Take care.
Boom. There's all your problems gone.
But if you do that, they will think you're weird. Who are they? My friends? They know I'm weird. My family? They knew it before my friends did. Random people I don't know or like?
Who cares?
More power to you. When it
Yeah.
comes to these furries and the bad rep that they have, a lot of it is due to the children factor and the kind of lewd stuff that goes on, but for the most part, it's all fine. Truly, just grown consenting adults doing what they want to do, having fun with their friends. Some people may think it's weird and being in the fursuit and looking like an animal, this and the other. You may find it super weird. And again, I'm not talking about the Therians or the pup play for a separate video if you want it. When it comes to these furries, they're minding their business. And perfect example. Ooh, y'all want my raw opinion?
But yeah. Okay. I get what he's saying, yes. But I really need to go to a furry convention to really experience it. But I feel like it'd be similar to an anime convention where it's general audience. Not everyone's going around being a pervert 24/7. I would hope not. Unless it's a convention catered specifically to that, then of course you shouldn't have kids. Like again, bringing up Ecchi Expo. There's no kids allowed in that convention because that's the AIDS.
And actually, if I remember correctly, when we went to Dallas, they actually put booths and lining up so people can go to the hotel and kids don't have to see them in their skimpy outfits.
Right. Like, they make sure that kids are away from any of the lewd stuff. Of course, there's always the issue if some guy just comes up to him. But then I would hope the kid is accompanied with a parent that would prevent said stuff happening. Of course, if he gets separated, then I don't know.
I think we're going to get into it. Let me pull this up real quick. I think this right here.
Sports stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to say it. That is more gay and more weird to me than any furry convention.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just saying. The same people that are always like, oh my gosh, like the furries are so weird, that's disgusting. Okay, there's a lot of people that find like sports weird. I find this incredibly weird. An establishment, this is one of the many bars and sports bars and places, but it's gay. It's gay. This whole establishment full of all these straight men jumping around, prancing around, yay, cheering for other grown man throwing around a ball. And then you got some grown.
I say the exact same things too. I totally agree to this. There is always something crazy that can happen. Things fall through the cracks. Yeah, I've been to a furry convention once just to see how it was. It was okay, and nothing sexual went on. Yeah, just a lot of people role playing their costumes and having fun and contented. Yeah, I didn't dress up as a furry though. Don't have one, I'm guessing. Again, they're expensive.
Alpha men in here wearing the last name of somebody else on your back. That's weird to me. But I'm not gonna knock you for it. You do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift fans, they do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Beyonce fans, I have a tattoo after Beyonce's album. Beyonce fans, we crazy as hell. I'll be out there crying, sobbing. People look at me like I'm crazy and I'm weird, and I get it. I respect it. You think I'm weird, cool, but I don't care. I don't care what you think. I think this is weird, but I respect them. They can do what they want to do. Some people think the furries are weird, but at least respect them and let them do what they want to do. And there are some people that are like, okay, well, I still just don't like it because of the kid aspect, this and that, and sexualized. Okay, back to the sports example. What about them cheerleaders with their big old tibbies out there in front of all the little children?
Yeah. The freaking what's the come on, football, help me out here.
The beer and Viagra
No,
commercials.
not that. The show. What is that called? The show.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The sports thing. You know, when the football.
ESPN. I don't watch football either. You think I would know this shit?
They had the Janet Jackson. And
the halftime show.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. The cheerleader show. No, the halftime show. Yeah, they've been sexualizing the halftime show for years now, and there's kids out watching football.
Sports games. They out there.
So there you go.
Sports. Oh yeah, sports. That's how they be acting out there in front of these little.
Madra Yukia, Virus Gans 65, subscribed to the channel.
Thank you for subscribing.
Very
Hi,
true,
welcome.
yeah.
Children, I always thought cheerleaders were just weird. No shade to all my cheerleaders out there. It's just like why are you out there in a skimpy little outfit, prancing around? Yay, go team! Yay!
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
Why?
all the sports stuff is showing off sexual stuff in a children audience. So there you go.
So listen. And then you get all the people on the sports team dressing up, painting their face, screaming and prancing around.
Acting like fools.
Ball, bro.
Getting drunk.
Oh. There is so much more to dive into. Let me know in the comments below what other like kind of groups and subcultures.
All right, you want to call it?
Oof. Yeah. Oh, thank you for joining us for this one. Bye.
You want to take